in this game, we're going to look at how could we code a simple sort of I Spy game that the children might play. You know, you play with the kids when you're in the long car journeys, trying to keep them quiet. So we're going to hard code in a word that we've seen. And then we're going to print to the screen, I spy with my little eye, and print the first character of that word. We're going to ask the player to guess the word. And then we're going to compare the guessed word using an if statement. So have a go at that and see how you get on. So it'll display something like this. Welcome to my I Spy game. I spy with my little eye something beginning with C. Ask the user, what is it? They type their input, and then the if statement will print a message whether it's true or false. Okay, so it looks something like this. So print, this is your welcome message across the top. Here I'm repeating 20 times a underscore to give me an underscore across my title. Printing a couple of blank lines. Now in this case, I have hard coded in the word ceiling. Okay, so you might want to look at developing this game further, where you would, let's say for example, you had two kids playing a game. You might ask the first player, right, type your game in now, and the user would type their word in now. You might even try to mask that word, so as they type it, it displays stars on the screen. And then the second player, you give a prompt to the second player to guess what the first player typed. Or alternatively, you could, but this is way down the line, you could look at reading in a stream, a file of words, and then guess the word from that. But in this simple game, we're just hard coding in. So I've hard coded in that I've spied the word ceiling. And then I'm printing to the screen, I spy with Michael eye something beginning with, and if you remember, a string has an index with the first position on the index being 0, the next position being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So to pull off the first character, it's the index of spy word, where spy word is my string variable. And then I accept into a guess from the user, is it, and then it sits and waits. So whatever the user inputs is read as a string and put into guess. Then I do an if statement. So if what's held in guess is equivalent to spy word, so they're going to type in whatever, cow, whatever. If it's equivalent, it's going to print well done, or else it's going to print hard luck. So we'll just run that again. I'm going to change the word. Okay, so I'm going to put in table. Okay, so I spy a magical eye something beginning with T. Is it a toaster? Hard luck. Okay. So the challenge for you then is how could you develop that further? So we're only getting one chance at guessing with it, and then it prints well done or hard luck. So how would you get it to run a certain number of times? Maybe you might limit the number of times. So let's say they have 10 guesses. So you could use a for loop there. So you could use an index over a for loop. So between 1 to 10 guesses. And then in the 10 guesses, you would input this little bit here. And of course, once they had guessed the right word, you would then have to change something in this line to say, let's say, for example, continue game becomes equal to false. Okay? And then you'd be checking here on the if statement, if false. Okay? Alternatively, you could ask the user, do they want to continue? Maybe they've got to press /n to not continue. Or prompt them a second message, a first message, do they want to continue, yes or no, and then ask them what the guess is, and then keep checking in a for loop or a sort of a do while loop until they have entered they don't want to continue. Okay, good luck with that.